Hi everybody. Okay. So it's 7:35. All right. Well, I found out today that it's Nicolas Cage's birthday. So I want to do a video celebrating him and talking about one of his movies that's my favorite. Okay. So Nicolas Cage has been an actor for a long time. And so he's got a lot of credits under his belt. My favorite movie that he's done is It Could Happen to You. Second is City of Angels with Meg Ryan. Now, I've talked about both films, so I could talk about anything, and it's kind of a rehash, but I'll try not to make it that way. Okay, I'll talk about why the two I named are some of my favorites. Um, okay, well, It Could Happen to You is in the title, meaning this is a story, a movie, that could happen to anybody. Will it happen is a story. Um, I mean, I don't know. It's possible, but not very probable. But the idea that it could happen to you is what holds me close to it. Plus, I was able to really identify with the characters, so that's why I love it. Um, I liked it so much that I saw it on, I think it was an Amazon Prime or something, and I was like, oh, this is a good movie. So I said, can I watch it again? Because that's my test. So I watched it again a couple of days later, and I was like, yeah, it's still funny, it's still good. All right. And then I immediately got it on DVD. So when I immediately get something on DVD, I really like it. Plus, I can see myself watching it over and over and over again. So, um, okay. To give you kind of the clip notes and try not to wreck the movie, it's about cop, and he's married to a Latin woman played by Rosie Perez, and Rosie Perez's character wants to get out of New York. Only Charlie, his character's name is Charlie. Charlie has been in New York his whole life, and so the thought of him moving anywhere is not even a question. And the thought of him not being a cop is not a question because he just has the spirit that he has to help people, which is cool. Um, so what happens is she convinces him to go get a lottery ticket because she saw her dead uncle in her dream, and he gave her lottery numbers. And with a four, he saw she saw his face, and he had fours in his eyes, which means I guess she thought it was going to be a $4 million jackpot, which it was. Problem is that he already promised this waitress, Yvonne, played by Bridget Fonda, half of the ticket because he didn't have money and he forgot his wallet or something, so he couldn't leave a tip, right? Well, it happens, he wins. So then he has to break it to his wife that he promised a woman that he has no idea who she is, that he split the ticket with her. Of course, the wife hits the roof and says, "Why would you promise something like that?" Only imagine a Latin Hispanic woman screaming at you because you promised to give away half your fortune. That was her volume. Okay? Um, so then he splits it with her, even though his wife is vehemently opposed. And he says, honey, it's still $2 million. We can live pretty good off of it. You know. Okay, so she goes to the shops that you need money to spend to be in there, and she buys practically everything. and then not a lot, okay? And then she gets hit, splattered with paint because just so happens the day she gets the fur, like a nice fur coat, PETA is demonstrating. So they douse her with red paint. And of course, she has a heart attack because she just got a brand new fur. Okay. Meanwhile, uh, Charlie is falling in love with Yvonne, but he doesn't know it. He thinks they're just having a friendship. But the other guy who's a cop with him says, "No, man, there's something there." And like, watch out and all this stuff. So, okay. So they fall in love throughout the movie. And, and then it comes out that he's having an affair or something with the woman. And his wife says, "Is it true? Is it true? Are you doing?" And he's like, "No, dear, I'm not doing anything. We didn't do anything." "Well, how do I know?" And she throws him out, throws his clothes in the street, and then he leaves. Okay, and then she files for divorce or something, and she falls in love with this guy who's a rich guy and says he can double her money, but all he ends up doing is taking her money. So she ends up pretty poor and has to go back and live with her mother in Queens, New York. Okay, meanwhile, Charlie ends up with a waitress. But, it takes a lot to put some toes before then. But I hope I didn't ruin the movie for you. But it's really good. It's really good. So, yeah, I like it a lot. Okay, and then the other one I mentioned is City of Angels because it has Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage in it. I have been a Meg Ryan fan since the beginning. I even did a video on her separately. So yeah. All right. Now, okay. Full disclosure, I don't really like sci-fi movies that much unless they seem believable. Because I don't want to go into another world, and I don't believe that, I don't know, all the crazy stuff. I don't like corny sci-fi, but I like a little bit. So the story is pretty good, has a good basis, and you can tell that it's a city of angels, literally. And all these people, actors and actresses, are supposed to be human beings who are either angels or transitioning on the other side. Now, um, Seth always Seth is Nicolas Cage character in this movie. He always wanted to know what it was like to be human. So he kind of gets a chance, and he's with Meg Ryan for a little bit. But yeah, I like it because it does go a little bit into that, but not too much. And I like it because it passes the believability test for me because not so much the angel part. I mean, not that I don't believe in angels, but you could take away the story and it could happen. Like, it could happen to you. You could meet somebody like that in your normal life. So that's why I like that movie so much. Okay. I hope I did a fitting celebration for his birthday. So happy birthday, Nicolas Cage.